Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the E-commerce Impact podcast. It's great to have a returning guest this week. We've got Rosie Davies, who is a PR expert. Rosie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me back. It's great to be back.
Yeah, it's awesome. So why don't you reintroduce yourself to our listeners, because there's probably lots of new listeners who haven't experienced your awesome presence and knowledge, and then we'll dive in.
Hi, my name's Rosie Davies. I founded a company called PR Dispatch, and we say 20 years of PR agency experience taught us that you don't need one. We've seen thousands of brands do their own PR in-house through PR Dispatch and do it better than they could do with an agency. So we help brands to do that from £60 a month.
Amazing. And today we're going to be talking all about, although it feels kind of crazy because in the Northern Hemisphere, summer is just getting started, but we're going to be talking about how you can get Christmas press for your product brand. So getting yourself featured in those awesome Christmas gift guides, having features on your product at that crucial kind of big, busy time of year when you're most likely to be selling more product. So before we get started on that topic, why is it important to get Christmas PR? Like, does it make a difference? What's the point of it in the first place?
Two things here. Firstly, obviously in Q4, people are shopping a lot more. They're looking for gifts. They're turning to potentially press or social media for gift inspiration. So products, brands, e-commerce businesses that are featured in those spaces are obviously going to capture potential customers, potential future customers. The other side of it is the press. There are a lot more product features on the lead up to Christmas. So last year we saw 35,000 products featured in Christmas gift guides alone, never mind other features that kind of are regular in magazines. There's so many opportunities. So kind of PR's been on your radar, or maybe you did it and dropped the ball and thought, yeah, we'll pick that back up at a later date. Christmas press is actually a great place to start. The only thing is with Christmas press is it does start in July, which summer's just about to start and it feels weird talking about Christmas. But Christmas gift guides will be opening in a few weeks' time. So now's the time to jump on it.
Yeah. Why do the press kind of plan it so far ahead? Is that just the nature of how kind of the media works, that this type of content is done really far in advance? Why is that?
Yeah, I when I first started in PR, which is probably about probably 14, 15 years ago now, I thought I can't carry on like this for forever. Like obviously like season, like the way people design and how quickly things are turned over from trends has completely transformed, but press hasn't moved like that, and they actually still work to the same lead times. So long lead press, which are your monthly magazines, are compiling their gift guides about 4 to 6 months ahead, which puts them in the time frame of July to September. You also need to remember that these are gifts, and they are publishing a gift guide, and a gift guide needs time for people then to purchase that gift. So they're always published actually in November. So it might sound like Christmas press, it's going to be published mid-December, but actually a lot of them are published even October, November when they're published, so that people have time. And sometimes we even see ones in September. So that is why we're working to these massive lead times as early as sometimes June or July, when the press is starting to think about, okay, yeah, what can we put on our gift guide for this year to allow our readers to shop more consciously from more independent brands, from something new. So yeah, be aware of those lead times.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'll never forget when I first came across this was when I worked at Etsy and we were in full Christmas planning swing in the middle of summer. We had these press events where we would invite the press to come and, we would feature all these products. So I kind of learned about it then and it stuck in my mind. But yeah. And what are the kind of positive halo effects of getting in one of these guides? Like, talk to us about how it kind of impacts SEO and, more than just like someone coming across the guide or getting the guide through their letterbox. What else, what are the other benefits of it?
So we actually say to anyone that we come into contact with, whether it be a newsletter subscriber, an Instagram follower, or a member of ours, PR is not about sales. it's never been about sales as far as I've been in PR. Like, yes, okay, sometimes it might, in the right place, the right product at the right price point, might lead to sales. Say the Guardian gift guide at the right price point does drive sales, but on a whole, PR is not about sales. It's about brand awareness. It's about credibility, visibility at a really key time of year. It could be about picking up customers that won't shop with you at Christmas, but will come back to you in the new year. Maybe you do planners or organizers or something, fitness, something that's good for January that someone might see you in a gift guide. On the online side, I always say to our members, try and prioritize your online press over your print press. Print press is fantastic. It's really great for awareness and credibility, but online press, you're looking at SEO, improve, like better backlinks, improved SEO. It's got longevity. It's going to last for as long as the article's up. So it's year after year after year. We had a brand that we worked with many, many years ago, and they were featured, I think it was like the 2017 Guardian online Christmas gift guide, and it drove traffic year after year after year. So online has unlimited kind of longevity as long as they keep that article up. But it's about you sharing that with your audience, making sure you're pushing people through your sales funnel. And it actually takes out the research phase. So I was looking at some stats earlier from Vogue Business, and it's actually about millennials and Gen Z. And it's 66% of Gen Z go through a really significant research phase before they buy a product, and 67% of millennials do the same. And that research phase could be anything from packaging to quality to customer reviews to, looking at the brand and their ethos and sustainability credentials. But actually what press does is allows you to skip that stage, because if you see a logo from the Telegraph or any credible publication out there that someone recognizes and thinks, actually, yeah, this magazine says they're good, you're going to skip that research phase. And that's what press allows you to do, which I think actually in today's climate is the most beneficial aspect featured.
Yeah, that's really true. I mean, I can definitely say that's true of myself when I'm like researching or I'm not a big researcher of products. I'm looking for like something to convince me that someone else has done the research, that to make the job easier for me. Okay, that's been featured in that magazine that I respect or that newspaper that I respect. Good. I don't have to read like through all the customer reviews now, or like try and figure out if this product is any good because I know it is. Yeah. So it can help with the part, it can shorten the path to conversion, is probably what I would say as a digital marketer. I would add as well, as a ads person, that any press you get can really augment your paid efforts, because you can use that press in ads in most cases. Some media outlets will try to charge you for it, but most of them don't. So you can talk about featured in, you can talk about the gift guide, you can run traffic even to the article or the online, the place online where it's featured. A lot of people kind of try and like almost fake this as a tactic, but if you've got actually real press coverage, running ads to it actually can work really, really well. So there's
beneficial. It's so beneficial, and you trust them straight away. I see it all the time. People using their press, their quotes from press, their logo. I think the logo, a logo is enough to send me to someone's social media page or their website. I think it's so, so beneficial.
Yeah, cool. So we're on board that this is a great thing to do, and that Christmas is a great time to do it because there's so much interest from the press around product brands, more so than the rest of the year when they maybe focus on other elements. So how do we do it? How do we get our brands featured in the press? What's the kind of step-by-step process to get there?
So the first thing would be assets. You have to have, and you'll probably say this for marketing and ads and everything else as well, but assets are absolutely crucial when it comes to press coverage. Most important, top of the pile, is cutout imagery, pack imagery. That product shot on a white background is absolutely crucial for press use, especially for Christmas gift guides, because 85% of Christmas gift guides are compiled in that way, where they'll ask for that imagery from you. If you don't have it, they're not going to be able to feature you. And we do see some like really gorgeous like e-commerce businesses that survive alone on lifestyle imagery, but it's not good for press. So make sure you've got those really strong cutout images. The next piece of advice was be timely. They're going to start compiling in July, and opportunities in long lead press, that's your monthly magazines, are limited, but they're still there. And they really like independent brands. They really like startups. They really like interesting product. So if you fall into that category, I really recommend doing both long lead and short lead print and online as well. But you've got to start in July if you want to contact them. Sending a well-written email. So I actually was looking back at the kind of the feedback that we got from our members last year, and actually one of them has written, write your pitch emails like it's an SEO exercise, including all those keywords, describing your product and your brand really well, whether it be female founded, sustainable, all of our products fall under £50. I don't know, whatever it is, but describing what you're selling, what you're doing really, really well can really help, because the way the press work is that when they're compiling their Christmas gift guide, they will search. So they're like Google, they will search their inbox for potential products. And if you appear, you're more likely to be featured. So just describing your product really well can help for, yes, gift guides, but also future features as well. And my last tip would be contact the right person. And I know what your next question is going to be. How do you find the right person?
Yeah, wow. How do you find the right person?
Okay, so absolutely honesty, it's really, really hard. I think if you're going to really go for Christmas gift guides, definitely sign up to Access for a database. I'm not just saying it because we do it. Sign up with us or with someone else, but access a press database, because the press move around all the time. And with Christmas gift guides, it's not necessarily the person you think it's going to be. It's not the lifestyle editor or the fashion editor. We've seen it be freelancers. We've seen it be the retail editor. I mean, you name it. We've seen a random person compile the Christmas gift guide. I always say I think it's the person that draws the short straw at the Christmas party is then meant to do the Christmas gift guide the next year. It's probably not an enjoyable task for a lot of them. So I would recommend accessing some sort of press database to access Christmas gift guide information, because it's never the person you think it's going to be.
Amazing. That's really interesting. So tell us a little bit for the uninitiated in the audience, sorry, what is a press database? How do they work? What's the deal with that?
So yeah, press. Well, actually, I ran a backstory. I ran a PR agency 10 years previously to starting PR Dispatch, and we actually accessed press databases when we ran a PR agency because it made our outreach a lot more efficient. And you want your PR to be as efficient as possible. It's a complete waste of time to be looking for press contacts, because by the time you found the person that you think is writing that article or that feature, they've probably moved on. So a press database is accessing email addresses. It might be more specific information, like what feature they write, how they'd like information supplied, how they'd like to be contacted, what they do want to see, what they don't want to see. And yeah, that's something we offer since we started PR Dispatch for e-commerce businesses, because I found there was press databases are great, but they're vast, and there'll be 50,000 contacts in there of people that probably aren't relevant to e-commerce businesses, which is why we started PR Dispatch, because there was no one just targeting the e-commerce market.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So press databases that are vast and that PR agencies use, I imagine they're expensive if you're a small brand that's just trying to get, a bit of press for Christmas. So
Yeah.
how does it compare to like how your system works, and like kind of what are the pros and cons of doing it with you guys versus a press database?
Yeah, so I think press database is fantastic if you're a PR agency, right? Flat out, if you're a PR agency, a press database with vast contacts is fantastic. It is very expensive because obviously as a press agency, you've got 20 clients and you need all different press contacts within different spaces. So that's fantastic. And you'd be looking at £4,000, £5,000 a year. With us for Christmas, you're looking at under £600 just to access Christmas gift guide contacts, because e-commerce is I think personally, from experience over the last 10 years, what it's taught me is e-commerce press is actually a very small space. And there's a very small network of people that write about e-commerce founders or e-commerce product. And it doesn't need the database that a PR agency would need.
Yeah, so you've kind of curated who those people are and you keep that up to date. So your membership works for kind of day-to-day press. You guys share, as far as I understand it, like press contacts for getting kind of general PR for product brands in the UK, right? And then your Christmas gift guide kind of offer. So that's something you do once a year, and you offer that to help brands who just want to come in, focus really hard on the Christmas gift guide initiative and kind of get the job done. Do you want to talk us through a little bit more about how it all works?
Yeah, so we separate it because it is completely different. It's so we have this, so we have our normal membership, which is PR all year round, and it's we call it profile press and product press, and it's kind of ticking over PR all year round, which is really important. I should emphasize that is really important. And we have this thing within there called press and journal requests. So if you've never heard of a press and journal request, it's when the press kind of shout out something they're looking for. And this could be a product, an opinion, an experience, a person. And they are very abstract normally. Jessie, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're really like, it's like looking for someone whose dog has had a hysterectomy, for example. We do get some really, really random ones. But that is a last resort for press. A press and journal request is the last resort for press. It's when they've looked through their inbox and they can't find what they're looking for, or they know it's so abstract they're not going to find what they're looking for. And Christmas gift guides kind of act like that. So it's not that abstract, but it's a new person. It's someone maybe that, you know, normal people, like normal brands, wouldn't contact about product press. So it kind of acts like a press and journal request, which is why we separate it from the normal membership. It's so fast paced. So we might get, you know, Hello Magazine has opened their Christmas gift guide. These are the categories. Oh, and they're closing tomorrow. It can be that fast paced. So we decided from the start to always separate the Christmas gift guide, give people the option to buy it. Christmas gift guide isn't for, I should also say, Christmas gift guide isn't for everyone. I can come on to this in a minute, like who it's right for, but it isn't for everyone. So just making sure kind of if you are doing it, it's the right fit for you. If you're not fitting into the gifting category, I would say leave Christmas, forget about a Christmas gift guide is fantastic to be and everyone wants to be there. But if you're not falling into that category, it's probably not right for you.
Yeah. And people should know if they're a giftable brand or not, and the profile of their customers, whether people are buying it for themselves generally or buying it as a gift. So yeah, makes sense. Cool. So you separated it out, and so it's this kind of intensive program where people can come in, they have access to the journal requests, the list of people who they should be sending their products to, and I'm presuming you also guide people on like how to get it done, like how to approach, what's going to work, you know, the photos, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, we call it insights. Yeah, Christmas gift guide insights, making sure you've got everything kind of lined up, your ducks in a row before you go for it, because that's the most important part. If you haven't got that, you're not going
Yeah.
to secure the press coverage.
So you're holding their hand every step of the way, essentially. And in some ways, I guess it's probably better than working with a PR agency, because a PR agency is going to be so busy this time of year trying to do it for all their brands and have competing brands that they're trying to get into the press, whereas you do it yourself and you kind of control the process, don't you? And you can really focus on getting your brand featured and make sure that you're kind of top of the pile of your, you know, with each of those requests that comes through.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I can actually speak as someone that used to run a PR agency, and the way we used to look at it is the person that had the least coverage would be the person that was pushed most the next month. Because when you've got 12 brands on your books, you have to push the people that have had the least coverage. So if you've had quite a good June, you're probably not being pushed that much in July. And that's probably the way every PR agency works. So yeah, I think if you can take it in-house, and if you have got someone to do it, I mean, in terms of finding the right person, they just need to be organized. I recommend someone in-house. I don't recommend outsourcing it to a freelancer or definitely never a PR expert. You don't need a PR expert to do PR. You just need someone really organized that can send emails, that kind of can keep track of who they're contacting, and that's enough to kind of get some really great coverage.
Yeah, amazing. What was I going to say? Do you know of anything like this in like the US or Australia, other countries? Because I know you focus on journalists in the UK. The content will probably make it to the internet in other countries as well, but generally, like the focus is the UK for you. Do you have any tips for people outside the UK? Is there anything else that exists out abroad?
I would love, I would love to find us in the US and Australia. That would make me, so if anyone's listening and they are us in the UK or Australia, please email me. We haven't yet found them. I've spoken to a few people, but it's not quite what we do in the U. I mean, I think with the US is a much bigger market. So the UK is so small, we can very easily target kind of every single publication in the UK very, very quickly, but the US is a whole different ball game. The tips stand the same though. Great imagery, a well-written email, the right person, not just someone you think it is, the right person. Those tips still stand for any market.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Well, how can people get involved and sign up for this if it's something they think will be useful to them?
Yeah, so we are on prdispatch.com, www.prdispatch.com. So you can come and have a look at the Christmas gift guide there. We're doing a few tours throughout June. We launch on the 4th of July. Not the best day in the UK, considering it's now a general election.
All
But
right.
but it's planned before the general election. So we are going to run with it. It's also Independence Day, obviously, in the US. But, we're going to probably
Easy to
come up.
remember. That's probably
Yeah,
good.
it's the 4th of July. So we're probably going to come up with some really great marketing campaign to get us through that. And we also have really great free workshops. So we've got free workshops throughout June. We're actually speaking to the editor from Country Living Christmas gift guide last year towards the end of June. So if you want to come along and sign up for that, you're more than welcome to. We'll also do a replay. And there's loads of free content on our website as well and on our Instagram, which is at PR Dispatch. And as I'm plugging LinkedIn at the moment, because Jessie's doing so well, I'm just going to say you can come and follow me at Rosie Davies Smith on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Great. We'll put those details in the show notes. And yeah, it sounds like those free workshops would be a great start for people wanting to educate themselves a bit more about this opportunity, especially if they're in the UK and a giftable product. It sounds like an absolute no-brainer. So yeah, I will put those details in the show notes. And thanks for coming along, Rosie.
Thank you for having me, Jessie, as always.
No worries.